Hello, we're live. So I'm Teacher Kelly Tagg. This is my channel, but with me I have Evelyn Joy. Evelyn, tell everyone about yourself.
Hello, my friends. I am a homeschool mama of 4. I teach Spanish online and I have a YouTube channel. So yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna share screen and show your YouTube channel. So what is your YouTube channel about in case any of my viewers aren't subscribed to you?
Yeah. So my YouTube channel is about me. So I'm an online teacher. So it's about online teaching, gardening, and homeschooling, or easy recipes, easy, cheap DIYs, just like whatever I'm up to. I'll make a little video about what I'm doing.
Right. It's like a lot of family vlog and about your kids. So there's one about your rabbit. And yes, and I know you started working at VIPKID again. I saw that video. How's that going?
Yes. Okay, so bookings were not going great on Outschool, and then I've not been able to sleep in the mornings, and I'm like, I could be making money right now. What can I do? So I've been seeing that people are getting bookings on VIPKID. So I went over to VIPKID, where I'm technically still employed, but I don't have any bookings. So I got all the certifications, and then I opened all the time slots, and then I was getting nothing. And so I was closing the time slots the night before and stuff, but I forgot one time. And suddenly I had I woke up to 2 teacher no-shows, and then I had one more booking for 1 a.m. on a Wednesday. So I went ahead and closed the time slots until now I only have 5 to 7 open, and it's not short notice. I haven't gotten anything else. I feel like the teacher no-shows might have shut me down on trying to get VIPKID, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'll keep people posted on my channel. But it was really sweet getting to teach a trial class and teach a 12-year-old boy in China, and we just had a great blast. And it was a blast from the past. Connecting with a kiddo in China was lots of fun. But yeah,
Hopefully I bet.
So yeah.
Yeah. I did try a few times opening slots, but I have one student I teach independently that I had from VIPKID. So yeah. Go ahead.
A friend saw that I was trying to work for VIPKID, but not really getting bookings. And she was like, you should do Cambly. And I was like, I forgot about Cambly. So I'm applying for Cambly, but I thought, I turned everything in. Cool. And then they told me, we don't like your background. It needs to be more educational and less busy. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to redo my whole background for you guys. I'm not sure. So yeah, I might just remove a couple things from the shelf and re-record and see what they say. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. They don't pay enough. They're very low pay. They don't pay enough to do all that work. Yeah. So, but the thing I like about them and what I always use them for is last minute, Chinese New Year when bookings would be low at VIPKID, or you'd have a 1 or 2 hour slot, in between kids. I'd use it for that kind of stuff, or no show. So let's talk about your Spanish classes. So you have Spanish classes. We'll talk about Outschool first. On Outschool?
Yes. So I have 3 different kinds of classes, Spanish classes. So I have Spanish Fun for little ones, which is ages 5 to 9. And then I also have, thank you. Are you going to show awesome. I also have beginner conversations, Spanish beginner conversations for ages 11 to 15. And then I also do one-on-one tutoring for any age from 4 to 18. That's where, for example, I have a high school student that I'm tutoring. I'm fluent in Spanish, so I can help people on any level. I just happen to be teaching beginners because that's what's been booking, But I can tutor people if they're in high school, advanced Spanish or whatever. I'm fluent in Spanish, so that homework's easy for me. So I can help your kiddos with whatever Spanish homework they may have. I know it's hard for parents, if their kid is in advanced Spanish and they don't know Spanish. It's I don't know how to help you with ser and estar. I don't know what all this is, right? But I'm fluent in Spanish, so I can help with that. So I do one-on-one tutoring. And also, some students are more shy and they don't want to be in a group class. And so parents are willing to pay a little bit more. So my group classes are only $6. It's a 30-minute class, meets once a week. My one-on-one tutoring is $17 for 30 minutes, which is a lot cheaper than a lot of people's. I try to keep my Spanish classes competitively priced. When my classes fill up, then I'll bump up the price to like $8. But when the classes are really like supply and demand, right?
Yes.
When there's not that many people and it's the beginning of the school year, I'm trying to fill up my classes. I set the price at $6. And also that gives the chance of like, for example, I have triplets in one class. Like when there's parents that have multiple students, when it's set at $6, they're able to sign up all 3 of their kids, you know? So,
yeah. Yes. I used to have that strategy too. Start, like if it's a new class or new section, especially a new class, I would start low and raise the prices. And that could be a marketing technique too. You could say, hey, I'm going to raise the price, but if you book now, you get to keep this price. You know, if it's an ongoing class, they keep the price they signed up with. So Kathy says, hello, looking for a Spanish class for my grandson when he turns 3 next summer. So there you go, Evelyn.
Yeah, I have a Spanish preschool class. And I had it open and I was teaching a couple students in it. But currently I'm not teaching preschool right now. I go back and forth between teaching preschool. It's not as much in demand for students. So if you want to book me one-on-one, we can do that. Or if you request me to open a preschool class, I can do that, you know, so.
Okay. Yeah. Rebecca says, hello. Doesn't her daughter take your classes?
Yes. Rebecca's daughters have taken Spanish class before with me in the past. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. And then you are going to start teaching, or have you started with Teach Me Truth yet?
So Teach Me Truth, I just had my interview yesterday. I passed the background check. We're setting up the profile. And so soon I'm actually going to be teaching. Teach Me Truth is a Christian platform. So I was thinking it would be fun to have like an adult class and we could like learn maybe some Bible verses in Spanish as well. But also like, depending on what my friends want, right? I might have an adult class where it's like useful conversation stuff. And I might have a separate, like, I was thinking of Bible verse classes. A lot of the classes on Teach Me Truth are pre-recorded, which I haven't done yet, like flex classes, but it's opening me up to the concept. I like interacting live, but I also need to make more money. So I like the idea of recording it and like being able to have some flex classes going and then maybe also teach some live classes as well, which is nice. So,
Yes. I mean, okay, so they are a lot of work up front. I did it. I created mine last summer, and like, you know, when I was in the middle of doing it and when I was finished, I'm like, I am never doing one of these again. But after you've done the videos and you're finished, then you have the class. Like I was able to take the videos I was using from Outschool, put it on Teach Me Truth. And then, you know, then it does become passive income. But see, my pet peeve is when people do videos on passive income is that they don't tell you it's a lot of work, like up front, you know what I mean? Because it's passive sounds like you're just going to like do the thing and sit back and enjoy money. That happens later. But like you've got to, doing the videos takes some time for sure. But then you're not trading time for money, like in classes, like sit down for 30 minutes, you know, this way you have it. Like I suddenly got like, you know, some money from Teach Me Truth. And I'm like, oh, great. You know, you didn't have to like do anything after the initial.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
that's the thing. When I was talking to Elizabeth McMahon on my channel, or McMahon on my channel about Teach Me Truth, and she was talking about flex classes, I didn't realize that I would want to do flex classes until I was talking to her, and I'm like, why have I not done this a year ago? Why do I not already have this set up? Because I could be making more money doing both, you know, because I could teach live classes and have some flex classes set up. So pretty cool.
Yes. Yeah. I resisted it, you know, maybe my first 2 years at Outschool. Also, it's not really something I would be interested in, you know, for my kids. So I thought, no, but that doesn't mean other people aren't. So make the classes.
I have taught some students that I can tell that they would prefer it be a pre-recorded class because they don't really want to interact with me. They don't really want to have their cameras on as much. They just want to like learn the material and do the homework. They don't I mean, it depends on the personality. Some people are more shy and reserved and they just want to, watch the material and do the homework and not talk to you, so not everybody wants to be your friend, I guess.
Right. And Outschool, that is their policy that kids don't have to have their camera on. But I would think in a language class that would be tough, because they're supposed to be talking,
I have one-on-one student that I just got that has advanced Spanish as his homework, and I'm not teaching him my materials. I'm supposed to be helping him with his homework. So he didn't want to turn on his camera or talk to me or show me his homework. And I'm like, buddy, I'm here to help you, like this is wasting your parents' money and my time, So I'm like, I sent a message to the parents and I'm like, please have him upload the homework before class and then keep the camera and microphone on during class because I don't like talking to a wall. It's not my favorite,
Yeah.
In group classes, I'm totally fine with people having their cameras off, but I do ask them to unmute and repeat after me because we're practicing pronunciation. We're practicing vocabulary. Yeah. It's a very participation-based system I've got set up. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to make this one thing killer. So if people found you on Outschool, they're already like your client on Outschool never ever wants you to take people away from the platform. But if people have never heard of you on Outschool and they're finding out about you through my channel for the first time, and they want children or adults want one-on-one lessons, can't they contact you, and you could do it outside? So how would they get a hold of you?
Well, you could find me on Facebook as Evelyn Joy, or you could leave me a comment on my YouTube channel. I would give my email, but the thing is, my email gets so buried in spam, I'm afraid that I would probably not see it. Yeah. So I'm not sure if I want to give my email because I'm not sure that's the most effective way to contact me. If someone lets me know that if you comment, maybe if you email me and comment on a YouTube video, then I'll see like to look for your email. Maybe. But I do have someone I found on Facebook that they wanted me to tutor their 2 daughters and kind of put some Christian material in it and stuff. So we don't do, I didn't connect them to Outschool, but we just do Zoom. I also have another student who is from Canada who is he's like 20 and he has Down syndrome, and his parents, he went on a mission trip to Cuba with his family, and I think his dad's Hispanic, but working on some Spanish with him. And since they're Christians and stuff, and he's an adult, so he can't do Outschool. So it's been nice teaching him one-on-one. So I do a little bit of one-on-one through Zoom. So yeah.
Okay. And I need to start taking classes again because my new job, like there are a lot of Spanish speaking people, like families that don't even know any English. And like even some of the kids, there's like I would say about 3 or 4 kids in the class that speak Spanish, but 2 of them, that's all they speak, and I know a few words. Luckily, my assistant teacher is fluent and my co-teacher, not fluent, but she knows quite a bit. She could carry on a conversation. So sometimes I have to say, go ask another teacher because I don't know what you're saying. So there's a need to learn it now. It's where, the new county that I work in is much more diverse. And I have one client, I'm supposed to go to their house and the mom only speaks Spanish. So it's becoming like, and I feel like just in the US, it's becoming more and more a thing that we almost need nowadays.
Definitely. Yeah. We have a lot of Spanish speakers in America now.
Yes.
Very true.
There's a lot of countries that speak Spanish that immigrate to here as well. So,
yeah, I don't want to get too political, but it's just like with how the world is going, we're not the only one experiencing inflation, and other countries, if you live in like a third world country or whatever, is getting more and more difficult to survive. And so some people get desperate and have to move countries, you know. Like,
right. And yes, so, and it is actually, in some ways, it's easier to learn with little kids because like they'll hold up a block and say the color. So yes, but well, I've taken classes with you, and my son took a few classes with you. So I like how your style of teaching is like casual, right? Like you'll have all the kids, you're like, today we're doing animals. Everyone tell me what animal you want to learn, right? So yes. So is it, and I wanted to shout this out too. You have a few videos on your channel teaching Spanish.
I have a playlist of Spanish videos I've made. I should make some new videos with Spanish. Yeah, those are older videos, but they're still good, right? Yes. The information's accurate. Yeah.
Right. Right. And you've got one with the alphabet and one with like the vowel sounds, because we say them different and sounds that are. So that's another thing I like about Evelyn is she also teaches you what the letters say, because when you look at a Spanish word, you're going to pronounce it like the way that our letters say it, but she teaches you how their letters sound so you can sound it out in Spanish, and that helps too. And they don't teach that in school.
Yeah, for years I mispronounced the letter Z in Spanish. I would say zapatos, azul, but it's actually zapatos, azul, because the Z sounds more like an S in Spanish. But because that's such a common mispronunciation and it's not that big of a difference, Spanish teachers don't really correct you. So I let my students know, like, you could say this wrong, but I'm going to teach you correct pronunciation because you want to be fluent, right? So azul, not azul, right? Just because there's a Z there. I also say, you know, our brains want to switch everything back over to English, especially if we see a word that's similar to an English word. We're like, oh, that's easy. We're going to say it, pronounce it like it's English, right? So we see taco. We're like, oh, yo quiero un taco instead of yo quiero un taco, right? So it's like getting those vowel sounds correct, or like if it's a word we use in English or similar, like music in Spanish is música, but our brains are going to want us to say musica. Oh, that's an easy word, musica, but it's música. Think of a cow says moo, right? Música. The U says ooh, like ooh, shiny, right? So I give like little examples like that to help them remember, because when you hear me say it, you'll repeat me correctly. But then when you remember the word, your brain's thinking of it like an English word, and you'll want to be like, oh, musica, me gusta la música. No, me gusta la música, right? So, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's a good tip. And it's the same, like we teach English to other people, and we see things like the TH sound is really hard for a lot of speakers because it's one of those that are not very many other countries have that sound. So, and we can understand people when they pronounce it wrong, but if they hire us they want to sound like a native speaker, that's one thing we work on. So yeah, I like that. So, and in schools, they don't really teach much talking and pronunciation. They like just give you a bunch of vocabulary words to memorize, and then there's so many of them, you forget them, and they don't focus a lot on speaking. So even if your kids are in the public school, you know, but you want them to actually speak Spanish, then I think your classes would be great for that.
Yeah. And I teach like a lot of useful phrases. Like we learn how to talk about how old you are, cuántos años tienes, talk about the weather, cómo está el clima, you know, useful phrases for conversation, and qué te gusta hacer, what do you like to do, you know, different things. So yeah.
Yes, I like that. That would be helpful. Okay, so is there anything you would like to share that we didn't already talk about, and maybe re-shout out your channel and your Outschool classes? Yeah.
Yeah, so I keep it the same, Evelyn Joy, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Outschool. I use my first and middle name because I don't want to use my last name or my state, because so easily you can Google someone's first and last name and state and find out where they live and dox someone. So I just use my first and middle name on all platforms, so it's easy to find me, and it's kind of like across the board you can find me, but also it's not doxing myself, you know.
Yeah, good point. And just let everyone know, Tag is not my real last name. So,
Same idea, right?
Yeah, but I have said my state. Oh, well.
That's okay.
I'm not that famous yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, well, good. So I hope that that you get some more clients and YouTube subscribers, although your channel's bigger than mine. So I think we probably a lot of money.
I make $20 a month and they only pay you if it adds up to 100. So that's like every 5 months I make $100, but better than nothing, right?
I was going to say you're making more than me, although I have one video, like one brand ambassador deal. So I guess I do make a little.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So, oh, hold on. We got a comment. Kathy is saying, I love that you are tutoring an adult with Down syndrome. Yes. Yeah. Her granddaughter has Down syndrome.
Oh, very cool. My son has autism. So yeah. I also have a few videos about that on my channel about like when my son was first diagnosed with autism, like the early signs of autism. And then now I just make little videos of how he's progressing and learning. And a lot of times special needs parents may feel overwhelmed at the beginning when their child's first diagnosed. And so I just kind of want to show the fun side of being a parent of a special needs kiddo. So yeah,
I think that's great. Well, I need to go back and watch some of those videos because now I am doing special ed preschool. So, and your son is preschool age. So I need to go back and watch those. Do you have a playlist of that?
Well, I have a playlist that's called Videos with Caleb. And so those are videos that have him in it. But yeah. So he's been teaching me to understand more about people with autism and how autism affects different people. And I've gone down the rabbit hole of educating myself a lot about autism. And now I have my best friend who we have a lot of play dates with. She has a daughter with autism who's 9 years old. And so it gives me hope because she'll tell me about the struggles of when her daughter was 3 and she's kind of gotten through a lot of that. So it's like, this is where we're at right now, but it's not where we're always going to be forever. You know, we're going to get through these struggles and it's going to be good.
Yeah. Well, you know what? If your child is diagnosed with anything, you become an expert. You do. So, I mean, my daughter was very sick for a long time. Believe me, I'm an expert. I could talk about it. So yeah, you become an expert.
Something that's really interesting that you and I both have discovered with totally different things is that the experts in the field are not always right as well.
Yeah.
And that's very true about autism as well. So it's interesting.
Right. And as a parent, you're with your kid every day. You're going to see things the experts don't see. And you know your child the most. Like, don't let a doctor, if you think it's like this, don't let a doctor, don't let anyone tell you it's different because you're the one that's with them all day, every day.
Yeah. One thing I've come to discover is that a lot of behavior therapies that exist to make autistic children pretend like they're neurotypical, a lot of that is not the route I chose because I've come to realize that my child doesn't need to be fixed for society to accept him. I need to learn how to meet his needs where he's at. I don't have to make me feel comfortable. So I don't force eye contact or anything like that because it's like, he'll make eye contact when he feels comfortable. I'm not going to make him do something that makes him uncomfortable. So I've kind of gone a different route than some people choose with behavior therapies and stuff. I've done a lot of research and it's kind of like I chose not to do some of the behavior therapies because I came to discover that I don't believe in them. But yeah, it's interesting. So
well, that's your decision as a parent. So, and he's your, So, yes, Evelyn Joy, Spanish teacher, YouTube, autism and family life and online teaching and all kinds of things. Yes, gardening. All right. Bye. Thanks for those of you that came live and thanks to those who watch later. Bye.
You get a giant ice cream cone. Woohoo.
That's it. Yeah. Good job.